Hey there, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Afterthoughts. Tim Risto here. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day today. This is just a quick video I'm dropping today with some updates on the box office for The Forge, including the first international box office numbers to drop so far. It's looking strong as it heads into its third weekend of release, so I thought we'd take a quick look at this. Let's hop on over to the numbers and take a look at what the latest is. Domestic box office right now is sitting at 17.8 million. Looking really good. And that's coming out of course, that holiday weekend, the 4-day holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend that we looked at in my previous video. But here we have the first international box office numbers to come in, and those are showing us 140,664 right now. So that's kind of interesting for a total worldwide box office at the moment of almost 18 million. Now it's just apparently getting started in the international arena. It was a little surprise to me. I didn't know it was going to start this quick. I don't know how many places it's going to go internationally, what the plan is for that. But here if we click on details, you can see there's two locations listed here. We have Australia with a box office take of 91.8 thousand, and then you have down here New Zealand with 48,844. So those are the two places that make up that 140 number at the moment. Scroll down here, you can see again those numbers reflected with Australia with that 91,820. They also list Brazil and Mexico, but there are no numbers for them yet. So I'm assuming it's in release there in those locations, but has not either fully released or they just don't have numbers calculated. It may take a while for those numbers to come in. And then here's that New Zealand number for 48,844. So just kind of interesting to see which particular international locations it's starting with. I think Australia makes sense. I guess New Zealand does. I don't know. That's kind of interesting to see. And then Brazil and Mexico, I think, are interesting choices as well. But I don't know how they determine, where they're releasing faith-based films like this internationally. Obviously, they think there's an audience in some of these locations, so they're picking those as the first spots. And if it does strong in those, then, that may spill over into some other international locations as well. Let's go to the domestic details on the domestic box office. Remember, in my last video, we looked at this graph here that shows, again, the shaded area is kind of the expected performance range for a film based upon its opening weekend box office. And then the dark line here shows where, in this case, The Forge is running in, or how it's performing here over the since its release. And last time we looked at it, it had just broken above the shaded area. If the line runs along the top of that shaded area, it's got strong legs, meaning it's likely to last in theaters for a while and do well. If it runs along the bottom of that shaded area, or drops out of the shaded area, it kind of bottoms out, as they say, then it doesn't have as long of legs. It's likely to drop off and end its run in theaters quicker than it would be projected to. But as you can see here, last time we looked at it, it had busted out. I think we were looking at it right about here. It was at the 16.2 million range. Now we can see just over the last several days, it's continued its trend well above the shaded area, the kind of projected range, the expected performance for this film. And it's kind of leveled off a little bit, although it's still going up. But it seems to be holding very well, very strong performance in that. So, again, very encouraging to see for The Forge. Scroll down here to the daily box office performance. We looked again last video, probably about here at that 16.2. Now you can see over the last several days it's gone up September 3rd to almost 17 million. Then it went over the 17 million mark, 17.4. And right now it's sitting at 17.8. That doesn't include those international numbers we looked at. So that's just the domestic there. but continuing to do pretty well. It's gone up to, I don't know if I noted this last video, but it went from the 100, a little over 1,800 theaters, and went up over the Labor Day weekend to 1921, so 1,921 theaters, and that's where it's staying at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, it is about to go into its third weekend of release. This is Friday, September 6th here as I'm recording this video. So it's heading into its third weekend of release. It's looking good. It's looking very strong. However, it is about to face some serious competition. So if we go to the front page of the numbers here, you'll see, look at this headline here, theater counts, Beetlejuice set to open in a massive 4,575 theaters. So similar to the way Sound of Hope earlier in the summer faced some strong competition when the movie Twisters opened and its numbers dropped off, you have a potential threat here from this Beetlejuice sequel movie opening in a huge number of theaters that could potentially, cause some issues for The Forge. Again, they're not the same type of film, not necessarily the same type of audience goers, although I'm sure there is some overlap. But that's a massive amount of theaters there. So are they going to, some theaters going to drop The Forge in order to allow, some theater space for the Beetlejuice sequel, which they probably will see as a better cash cow than The Forge? Could happen. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that is probably going to mean potentially a drop-off for The Forge over this weekend. But we'll see. We'll check on this again next week after the weekend. I like to always let the weekends go by and see. Those are the times when obviously people get out to see the movies the most. Not as strong during the week, but the weekends are the big movie viewing times. So we'll take a look at it again after this weekend. So into next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll take a look at the box office and see how it's doing coming off of this weekend when the Beetlejuice movie opens. Anyway, I just want to take an opportunity once more to remind you all to go out and support films like The Forge and the Kendrick Brothers as filmmakers as well by going to see The Forge. The only way we're going to see more films like that is if you support them while they're in theaters. Don't wait for streaming if at all possible. Go to the theaters and see the film. Support it with your ticket purchase. If you've already seen the movie, go out and see it again. Take the family if you haven't, or go back and see it 2-3 times if at all possible, if you have the resources to do so. Take members from your church, take friends, take whomever you can, and help to support the film. The stronger its box office, the better chance we're going to see more films made like The Forge. So this is the opportunity, and the films don't stay in theaters as long anymore as they used to many years ago. Their theater runs are pretty quick before they get pushed out in favor of other films, like, say, a Beetlejuice. They get pushed out to streaming or physical media. But the time to really support them, where they're going to get the strongest financial support at the beginning of their run, of course, is in theaters. So anyway, if you haven't, please go and support the film. It's a very, very good film. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. Just want to do a quick check-in on the box office for The Forge. Again, we'll follow up on this next week, see how it does after this weekend. Hopefully, God willing, it will continue to go strong. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Y'all have a great day. Have a blessed day. Above all else, remember, stay in God's Word. See you next time. Bye-bye.